Sweet.
Holy free holies.
Tweeted it out a couple times earlier, so maybe they got a couple people to watch. I hope.
Oh, hey guys, we are live.
Sorry, did I just ruin that?
There's a show.
No, we are live. Hi, welcome to episode 8 of Ladies of the Round Table. I have the lovely Bonks and Zia with me tonight. I am Paige. Bonks, who do we have on tonight?
Oh my goodness, we have a double booked, fabulous show tonight. We have Matt Chandronait. Yeah, I can say French last names. We have the lovely Megan. We have the lovely and fashionable Miss Megan Patterson. Megan Patterson. How I screw up the Patterson name and not Chandronait, I will never know. But I did, because I'm amazing at everything. So why don't we chitty chat with our guests a little bit. I'm going to start with Matt here, who has a Kickstarter going for a fabulous documentary. Would you please do us a solid and talk a little bit about your project and about yourself and do all that stuff?
Oh my God, you're the ones doing me a solid by asking me to just talk about it. It's called Outer Lands. It's a 6-part documentary series on video game culture, and probably most of the people watching this would find that pretty interesting. So thank you very much for having me on. And the URL for that is pretty easy. It's just bit.ly, bit.ly/outerlands. And yeah, go check it out. We got a little over 7 days left in the Kickstarter. So tell your friends. And
you're moving along fabulously.
I think we're in pretty good shape. Yeah, everybody tells me we're in good shape. You know, it's kind of I try not to freak out because it hasn't been funded yet and there's only 8 days left to go, but everybody says, you're in a good spot, there's that end bump, just wait for the end bump, you'll be fine. And I'm like, I hope you're right, but it's so hard to just not...
Everybody end bump Matt. I know how that sounds, but you need to end bump him immediately. Hashtag end bump Matt now. Outer Lands is very cool.
That's a good hashtag. Let's go with that.
And bump Matt, I am going to hashtag the crap out of that. So now what has brought you to want to do a documentary? What are some of your past projects?
Well, the one that you can actually see on YouTube right now, if you just search for I Am Street Fighter YouTube, it'll be like the first result in Google. And that was obviously a documentary that we did on Street Fighter, Wonder of Wonders. And the Capcom did us a solid by putting the whole thing up for free on YouTube. Originally, it was just a part of the 25th anniversary collector's box set, which they only printed like 30,000 of. So that meant that, maybe a maximum number of 30,000 plus some of their friends got to see it. So I'm really happy that that's up on YouTube. And then the next big project that we did was The Last of Us. We did a making of documentary for them called Grounded, which you can get with the season pass. And yeah, and then people might know us from some of our past work. Like if people hung out on oneup.com back in the day, we did the One Up show, and we did this show on Revision 3 called Co-op for about a year. And we've done lots of little videos and stuff here and there for video game documentaries, for video game companies, and like making ofs and dev diaries and all those usual marketing videos that you see on websites. But this is the first time in a long time that we've gotten to do our own big project, and we're really looking forward to it. So, yeah, that's about it.
That's awesome. We love it. We love it very much. I just want to give a shout out. Miss Srivasta Carmen is in the chat, and she couldn't resist us, of course. We're missing her tonight. She's on the road doing some epic road tripping from Ohio to Florida, and everybody just needs to kind of just cross your fingers for her that she makes it to the land of sunshine and oranges. So let's hope that's the case. So moving on, we have the lovely and very fashionable Miss Megan Patterson. I can say your name right now. Hello, dear.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hello.
Of course.
So now you are the science and technology editor and lifestyle editor over at Paper Droids, yes?
I'm not the lifestyle editor anymore. I haven't been for about a year.
Okay.
I'm just the science and tech editor now. And yeah, Paper Droids is basically, we're a feminist website about all things geek. So we cover things like science fiction and fantasy books and TV shows and things like that. And we do video games and we talk about science and technology. And we're particularly interested in things like getting more women into STEM fields and having more women characters in video games and things like that. So
nice.
I'm like in charge of the video game stuff as part of science and tech. So that's kind of my deal.
That's a fun spot.
Yeah, it's really fun. Most of the time. Except when I get really annoyed at games for being gamey. If that makes sense.
And being very dude.
Yeah.
So, as anyone can see from this fabulous shot we have here, Miss Megan, her fabulous hat, her little polka dots going on. You know, so you definitely would say you are a bit into fashion. You like to get down with looking awesome.
I'm actually also, I write sometimes for Worn Fashion Journal, which is like a Toronto-based independent fashion zine. It's kind of like a mix between a scholarly like journal and a fashion magazine. So I do write about fashion sometimes too.
Sweet. So oh, cool. I love that. So since you're here, do you have like some quick little fashion hacks for us? Like maybe just one or two, like just, you know, mantras when getting dressed?
My mantras are usually wear as many polka dots as possible, and if in doubt, just put a hat on, and then you're ready for any fancy occasion.
I love that. Absolutely. I'm all about it. Well, it's fabulous to have you guys on board. So we're going to keep you here for some hot topics, and we hope you guys will jump in. So what we're going to kind of talk about today is we're going to start with has gaming helped you through out or through a rough spot in your life? To kind of give an example of what we're talking about. I mean, when I was a kid, I obviously had you know, a bullying issue or two. So at a certain point, I said, you know, fuck friends. Spyro's pretty cool. I think I'll just hang out with him and GoldenEye and, you know, some other characters. You know, yeah, that's you know. So definitely, you know, through my adolescence, because I mean, I wasn't exactly. It wasn't one of those that got bullied and just kind of shut up. I kind of would get mean, and I would say mean things back, like, you know. So but what I learned through games is, you know, when I play these games, I was such a confident little shit. You know, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking awesome. Like, if I can conquer a planet or destroy, like, a whole droid army, I should be able to handle some bullies. And pretty soon I realized that there are bully hacks. You know, like, it's very easy, actually, to get them off your ass. So, and I can thank gaming for that. So, Miss Paige, I know, definitely has a story.
I grew up with games. I mean, I honestly would not be the person I am today if video games were not a part of my life. I was raised to collect them. I was raised to cherish them. I mean, it was a big part of my childhood. So, absolutely, gaming has helped me.
I was just going to say, so when you say raised by, was it, are you talking about your parents were really positive influences on your gaming?
My dad collected arcades and video game consoles. When I was born, they had a Frogger arcade. I mean, like, this is in the mid-'80s. They had a Frogger arcade, so it was, you know, kind of a big deal then. I mean, it's still a big deal. I have 6 of my own arcades. Yeah. And it's helped me develop, you know, this strong friendship with a lot of people, a good rapport. And I wouldn't be doing what I do today if it weren't for video games in my childhood.
That's great.
I mean, and Matt, what about you?
My name's Paige Belmont. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
Well,
what's your? You ever get through a rough time with some gaming?
I did, yeah, definitely. A few years ago, my older brother passed away, and that was obviously a huge impact on my entire family. And weirdly enough, I kind of descended into a lot of World of Warcraft. Not something that was, I won't say that my addiction was unhealthy, but it definitely provided me a safe space where I could just sort of turn off and engage in this alternate world that didn't really have an end to it. You know, I think the endlessness of it gave me a place where I could escape and not feel like I was eventually going to be forced back out into a world where I was uncomfortable with for a long time. Because when something like that happens to you, you know, anybody who's had someone close taken from them like that, it's quite a while before you start to feel like it's not going to happen again, like just around the corner, you know. And so yeah, I think that's a really positive example of video games as escapism, but also video games as healing through escapism.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in on that, actually. Well, because that kind of ties into what I was going to say about... Because I hate this, like, this misconception that video games are, like, escapist and that people who play them are isolated. Or escaping because they can't handle being out in the real world somehow.
Yep.
I've been dealing with some issues here lately, actually. Just had some personal trauma that's resurfacing on me, and it's been tough. And it's so nice to be able to hop into WoW. I still play WoW, and my friends on there I've known since launch. I have friends on there 8 or 9 years, and they know when something's wrong. Like, they can hear my voice and they'll say, "Oh, Zia, what's going on with you today? You know, are you okay? Do you need to talk?" "No, man, I'm just had a bad day. I don't want to talk today." "No problem. Let's go fucking kill some bad guys." Like, and that's it. And it's very. You talk about space, and I understand what you mean when you say that. To be somewhere safe, to be somewhere where you know you're going to own it, it's really therapeutic, I think.
Well, yeah, because the emotions that you're experiencing in that situation, they're genuine, you know, like to be able to feel powerful and safe and for a moment, you know, to be able to project into another environment, even if it's virtual, I think that is healing.
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
If you are dealing with something outside of it, it's, okay, I want to take a break from this problem I have, and I want to handle it in pieces. I'm going to game for a little bit and just get away from that. And when I'm ready, I'll come back to it and unravel it. Because traumatic stuff, it takes time. It's not you're done. It, you know. So,
Cool.
what you're saying really, yeah.
All right, Miss Megan, how about you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I was always a shy kid, so video games were kind of not just a way to escape, but also like I connected with a lot of people through the shared experience of playing the same games and stuff. And I was always like playing games with my sister was always a thing that we did, so that really like brought us closer and stuff when we were growing up. And we don't even live in the same city anymore, but we'll still text each other all the time if we're playing the same game. Like, we were both playing Mass Effect at the same time over the summer, like all three of them. So it was like,
nice.
"Oh, what are you doing? Like, where are you?" And that's like a big part of our relationship. And definitely, like, pretty much all the BioWare games have gotten me through times when I was not feeling great about myself, just because, it's totally, they're like epic, and you can be the hero for a little while, and they're funny. So, like, definitely they helped me through a few points in my life where I felt really, really low and I didn't really want to engage with people as much, but also at the same time it helped me like talk to other people too.
I love that.
And I think BioWare games
You're like very
are,
brand specific.
Yeah. I'm sorry, and I was just going to say that I think BioWare games are a really good. They're a really good example of games where you can be powerful without it being a teenage male fantasy version of powerful. You know?
Yeah, great storytelling. Some of the best I've ever known. For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to scoot on down to some other. What was that?
Oh, I always cry. Like, always.
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. That means they did their job.
Yeah.
I shed tears on certain games that aren't even as deep as, but like, the end of Halo, one of them, I was kind of like, oh god, it's not, yeah. So. All right, we're gonna scoot on down the wire here. Talk about some of the stuff we've been reading and watching, and I'm gonna start with Saltire because it is a gorgeous comic book. I just got a review copy of it from Steel Diamond Comics. If you're looking for a blue, ginger-haired Scotch hero from ancient Scotland, then you need to look no further. This is a great comic if you're a history buff, which my husband has kind of morphed me into. So this is a great story taking place. One of the things I said in my review, and it is on the website, and I'm sure somebody awesome like Ryan might put up a link on the chat there. But Rome loved conquering as much as Scotland loved freedom, if you've ever seen a Mel Gibson flick. So that didn't mesh well. So obviously that was a brutal go. And then they kind of mixed in mythic Celtic Scottish gods and lore and mythology. And so they get to interact and intermingle with the mortal world. And it's just really fucking cool, really brutal, really fun. Definitely recommend it. It's a great book. And he's a big blue ginger scary guy, and it's great. It's very epic. It's definitely a fun read, and the art is so amazing. So that's just something I've been reading. Paige, what were you watching?
Okay, so I don't pay for cable. It usually takes me a couple of seasons.
I am the same way.
I refuse to pay for it. Like, we had it at the other house, and we had like the full Fios package, and like we just never watched it. So we canceled that and like upped our internet speeds instead. Like, we're just gonna stream everything. Yeah, I mean, why? It just doesn't make sense. I don't need 120 cables to watch the same 3 shows. So I decided, at the urging of several people, to check out Supernatural, which I had heard about. Everybody told me to watch it, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, I was actually really reluctant. I won't. You did? Okay.
I was very reluctant. Okay, I really liked it. One, they drive a sweet-ass fucking 67 Chevy. Hands down, that is just worth it. I grew up not only on games, but on cars. I helped my dad restore a 73 Chevy Nova. My first car was an 88 Camaro. With a 305 throttle body injected, V8 engine, dual exhaust, posi traction rear. It was insane. I missed my car.
Panty drop. Basically.
Yes, it was T-tops. Oh my god. Ugh, it was so nice. I took the back seat out, and I had a sub box back there that my dad installed that had neon lights that pulsed to the music. Like,
yes,
I didn't need Pit My Ride. My dad custom painted it. It was so great. So anyway, that alone, hooked me, and I'm like, all right, I can watch this show about 2 brothers driving around in a sweet ass car, like fighting demons. I'm okay with this.
I love everything that you said just now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like cars, and that's not something I get to talk about a whole lot. I used to work in the auto parts industry.
That's totally cool. I did watch Chosen, and I'm all caught up. I don't know if anyone here has watched it, but Chosen cracks me up. It's made by the guys who do Archer and the guys from Eastbound and Down. So this is a double trouble mixture.
Yep.
I was in tears laughing so hard. Oh my god, it's amazing. That's
Archer
a great.
Too, so I was really curious. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, there's a little delay here. I feel like I'm interrupting. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you liked it, because I was super curious about it, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But I love Archer too, and who doesn't love Eastbound and Down? So I mean, I didn't even know about the Eastbound and Down pedigree. That's amazing. So yeah, now I definitely got to watch it.
Yeah, definitely. If you're a fan of either of those shows, you'll love it. It's not a repeat of anything. It's really fresh and just out of control funny, just hysterical. But we are gamers here, so it is on right now.
Sorry, babe.
So that's okay.
Okay.
So yes,
so
look for it right now. Heather, you can watch it right now, actually, and I won't be mad at you. But I would like you to stick around, though.
Okay, thank you. I'll stick around.
Okay,
if you don't mind.
So So we are gamers. And I just kind of delving into my gaming adventures here. I did put up a game chat session recently, which featured a friend of mine who happens to be Irish and also happened to be drunk. And now I just want to say, it's just kind of a PSA. If you've read it, it's a little out of control, but I don't like use Irish people to be drunk when I'm doing my game chat session thing. It just happened, and it's very magical, but I do respect the Irish people. I know we have some listeners from across the pond, and so I'm not that person, but he was kind of that drunk. So, it was magical. You should read it. It was really funny. The other thing I noticed... The other thing I want to get your guys' opinion on, so I game a lot. I'm always, in the general populist area, or Gen Pop as I call it. And one thing I noticed is there'll be a guy and he'll be like Mr. Horseshoes, and then there'll be Mrs. Horseshoes, like a completely other gamer tag. And sometimes I'm like, that's cute, but sometimes I'm like, have your own identity. Like, I don't know. I can't tell if this is lame or just nauseatingly cute. I guess it depends on the name. Like, I think it'd be funny if it was like, I'm with stupid Mr. Horseshoes. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But I'm just curious if you guys, you have any thoughts or feelings when it comes to the Mrs. Gamer tag kind of thing?
I definitely do, but
get your own identity. Sorry, I'm also team get your own identity, but yeah, that's just, I don't go on online games a lot, so I was not familiar with this, and it's just it's weird.
I think it's bizarre.
Well,
I'm a married gamer.
For me, it's like...
But...
Well, for me, it's this is one of those debates that kind of go back, even to the origins of feminism, where it's like, is your identity completely subsumed by your husband when you get married? Where does why is there only Mr. but there's a Ms. and a Mrs.? Like a woman is a completely different person after she gets married, but the man's still the same person. And then of course, there's one of the counter arguments as well, it's up to the individual woman how she wants to be identified. If she likes being a Mrs., then that's her choice. Why should you deny her that choice? So, I can kind of see both sides of the argument, but I got to say it does rub me a little bit the wrong way. Like, I kind of feel like, if you are comfortable in your identity, then you should assert it separately from your mate.
But then if you get divorced, you have to get a whole new gamer tag, and just start over as someone else.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like it would be more hysterical if it was just two, dude friends, like a bromance, and one of them was Mrs., something. Now that, I think, would be really fucking cute and funny. And, definitely. I don't know, it'd just be cooler. But what about you, Heather Paige? Any thoughts?
I'm mad on this one. I'm sort of on the fence of, how do you assert yourself as a woman? Are you comfortable and say, fuck it, I'm Mrs. I don't give a shit, or do you come up with your own gamer tag? I'm always of the mind that I am my own person and I'm going to have my own tag. Although I am curious, I don't know, I'm going to put it out there. I wonder who came first. I wonder if the Mrs. came first and the Mr. followed along. That'd be kind of a fun thing to think about. A guy would probably never fucking do that, but at least my husband wouldn't. But
I would if the name was clever enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm a married gamer, but I need my own shit. It's a blessing that my husband's PC and I'm more console, because otherwise it would be a very physical, violent thing that might occur, which may turn into relations, but that's not necessarily healthy. So, okay, Paige, I heard you bought an Ouya.
Oh my god, I did. I want to say good things about this to you guys here tonight.
I know you do. We all did.
You want to.
I want to so bad. Okay, so it was my fiance's birthday last week. It was my fiance's birthday last week, and I was asking him. We don't do surprise presents. There's no point. I'm like, what do you want? He's like, honey, why don't you go pick up an Ouya? Like, let's check it out. Like, it's cheap enough, whatever. I'm like, okay. I go get it. First thing out of the box I notice is they give you the HDMI cable. That's cool. Thumbs up. I don't have to provide one of those. The second thing I notice is they give you 2 batteries for the controller, 2 AA batteries. Now, I can show you guys this.
Okay.
Ouya controller. As you can see, there's not really a clear place to put your batteries. No, you have to pry open the sides here. There's one battery. And there's the other battery.
What?
Oh no.
So bizarre.
There is...
Project.
You're casting a shadow on me. A menacing one. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
There's no instructions out of the box that tell you how to put batteries in your Ouya controller. It says get started in 4 easy steps, and it's like plug the console in, connect it to your TV, put the batteries in your controller and sync it, you're good to go. How do you put the batteries in this? Like, I would not know. I had to Google
Just smack it on your face. You had to Google it.
I had to fucking Google it. I was just like, are you kidding me? Because I was looking and I'm like, well, I don't want to pry shit apart if it's not supposed to come apart. The thing feels cheap as it is,
I would be banging on my desk immediately like, fuck this.
Yeah, so that happens. We get it set up, we turn it on, and I decide that we bought it for an emulation standpoint. Like, I have an Xbox that we run emulators on, but this has the ability to emulate, like, Dreamcast games, and that's pretty fucking cool to me.
Oh, yeah.
I like the Dreamcast. I have 13 of them. I don't really need an emulator, but...
You're ready for, like, the apocalypse with Dreamcasts.
I am. Every time I see one, I have to buy it. Like, I just have to buy it. Like, I have like 15 PS1s.
You
like, I have a
adopt them
problem.
like puppies.
You guys are going to see me on Hoarders one day, and it's just going to be stacks of consoles people have to maneuver through. Okay,
that's the best. Okay, so
that is the
nice
best.
try. Maybe 2.0 will be better or whatever. A work in progress, as Travasto is kind of nice to say.
Yeah, it is a work in progress, and I don't have, I installed a PlayStation 1 emulator. I already had a ROM ready. I FTP'd it. That was a whole other issue I won't get into. I FTP'd it over to the Ouya and fired it up in this PS1 emulator that I downloaded for free. And it's running beautifully. No lag, no glitching. And then all of a sudden, the top left, this big red button starts flashing that says, buy now! It was like a try it free emulator, but if you wanted it to run without that buy me now button, you had to spend $3. And I was like, screw this. I just downloaded a free Android emulator and installed it. But downloading things from the Ouya store is fun.
I love the way you said that.
The Ouya store.
Well,
but
yeah.
Now, I haven't spent a whole lot of time. Now, I know there's a couple of game codes that I'm going to try out the games. I'm not saying anything bad about the developers. The games I did try on the store were very well done. It was just the getting to that point was a little frustrating. And then, the day after I bought it,
actually really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being user-friendly is such an important part of having a console too. It has to be user-friendly or people they don't want it because you buy a console because you don't want it. Well, a lot of people do.
The user interface on it was okay. It wasn't the greatest that I've seen, but it was laggy. To get to the web browser, I felt like I had better user experience using like Netlink on my Sega Saturn in 1996.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Well,
yeah,
Saturn
like,
was pretty boss, but okay.
so
yeah.
that's using their browser that's like packaged on it. You can download Firefox, and that was much cleaner and much nicer. So I recommend
Okay.
you do that.
Okay. Well, if it's all right with all of you, I would like to lay some swag on our viewers, if you don't mind, really quick.
Nice.
Oh,
So we
Swag.
have some swag time, and this is mega swag. From the recently Dice Award-winning game Injustice, we have these fabulous New Era Injustice hats. I'm going to try and get it. I mean, you got B-Man, S-Man, W-Woman, Cyborg. I mean, this thing is just decked out. Nightwing, who, by the way, has my favorite bulge out of the characters of the game. Can I just say
love
a thing
you.
about Injustice?
Bulge is important.
I mean, obviously, NetherRealm knows how to make a great pair of, hoo-has. But, I mean, the bulges in this game, I'm going to do a whole article on it. Because there's some really nice ones, and I appreciate it. As a straight woman, that's very nice. And Nightwing's is pretty close to just nice perfection. Like, it's just...
I think it's fair.
It's great.
I think we deserved our time for bulge. I mean,
Yeah, we
after
need
all,
bulges.
We have to put up with these ginormous,
I like
amalgamous
those,
tits
yeah.
all the fucking time.
Yep.
Deserve bulge.
So here's
I'm
what we're
behind
gonna
this
do.
movement.
I think I'm gonna turn this into a little Twitter thing. Now you guys can go ahead and find us on Twitter, and what I want you to do is tweet to Ladies Around Table. I want you to tweet "I want the hat, please," and you gotta say exactly that. I want with the S or a Z. Bonus if you wants the hat, please, and you may get the hat. We actually have 2 to give away. So, and I mean, these are just snappy. I mean, this is a hot item. I mean, so go ahead, check that out. Unfortunately, there are really no bulges on this hat, probably, because, people have, it's for public use. But I do promise you
Wearing a
guys I
bulge
will
on your
go
head is
through
kind of
Injustice
awkward.
bulges, and we will talk crotch. And we'll have a good old time. So tweet Ladies Around Table and say I want the hat, please, and we'll pick some winners real quick, and you'll find out who you are, and you can jump up and down, and yeah, so that's a thing. Okay, so we did that, right? Let's. So getting to did you guys know? Well, I know you guys know in this thing, but all of our viewers, we are sponsoring a all-female Smite team, and we're sponsoring them, and it's fabulous. It's going to be so much fun. They're going to be twitching and bitch slapping and smiting like bosses. Smite like a boss, that's like our thing. So Carmen, you can't have the hat. You're the boss. And yes, I did say bulges, and I will continue to. Sorry, I'm just looking at the chat now. So what's going to happen? Oh, we got the video right here. Team Cognitive. This is so awesome. So yeah, we're sponsoring this fabulous team of women, and we're going to own it. 100K, dude. Amazing.
That is great.
So
I think we have a question in the chat about the hat and whether or not it's UK eligible.
You know what? I can do it. I will do that for our viewers. So yes, UK eligible. Just remember to tweet us and say I want the hat. So and I'll say bulges one more time because I can. So
It's just good to say.
it is
I think
so
the awesome thing here is
Good
that I've
night,
got
Bulge.
2 new great topics for Outer Lands. One is gamer hoarders, and the other is the study of bulges throughout video game history.
The evolution of the bulge.
the evolution
You
because it
can
was very
consult
boring
us.
and now it's very interesting, especially on Injustice. I mean, you know, when you look at like Master Chief, you know, or something, sometimes you get a good bulge out of Dante on Devil May Cry. Sometimes you get that. I'll say that.
True.
So, and now everyone's going to look at their male characters in a completely different way.
When I was playing Assassin's Creed 4, I was like, whoa, that's a butt right in my face. A dude's butt. I'm okay with this.
I'm totally okay with this, yes.
I
Who
mean,
wouldn't be?
Really,
It's
look
quite
at the
lovely.
progression. Look at the progression of like Ivy in Soul Calibur from like the very
Oh my
first
God,
game
yes.
to like now. She just loses more and more clothing, and like the most recent game, she's like just strings, delicately placed strings.
Well, I'm
so
nervous for
terrible.
her because she has all the sharp shit, and I'm like, how are you not getting not paper cuts, but blade cuts all over your fucking body? I mean, gee, you never miss? You never like have a YouTube like doink, like you never like chop off a breast or something? Like, I would need some armor. I would fuck myself up in that outfit, and I would fuck up people's minds because it wouldn't be pleasant. But, you know, it's just, I mean, that's terrifying.
Well,
I
maybe
can't
they're
imagine.
She's
her
perhaps the
too
most
distracted.
ridiculously impractical character in video game history.
It could be, but she kicks ass though. I won't deny. I've used her, and she has like those like stiletto boots and everything. I mean,
It's true.
you know, she's pretty gangster though. It's so crazy. So yeah, but bulges, good deal. So I'm sorry. I'm really on a mission to like get as many bulges in one episode as possible now because everyone thinks this is such a great
I
word.
Oh, really?
Bulge.
Oh.
Okay, so I think what we're gonna do, Meow, is that's the other game I'm playing tonight. Is the Meow game. If you don't watch Super Troopers, watch it. Let's do some shout outs. Yes, Paige, I know you love it because we are sisters from another mother. Okay, so I would like to do my shout outs first because I can. I obviously want to give a shout out to Off-World Designs. We still have 18 minutes. Well, fuck you, Ryan. Well, everyone will get lengthy shout outs tonight.
Damn.
Let me just finish mine,
Crack the whip.
and then we can go into other stuff. But here's my. I want look at this. This is pretty nifty. It says, "Come at me, bro," and it's
Nice.
I love it.
Oh, I want to show my shirt off
This
too.
is- yeah. Well, your shirt is pretty. Let me see your shirt. Yes. Look at your breasts. They're amazing.
I didn't realize
They're
that was
like-
this kind of podcast. Does that mean I have to show my bulge?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that is a requirement. That is a new requirement of our guests.
Yeah. Show us your tits, Matt. Immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I do have a pretty awesome shirt on.
Show
Okay, let
it.
me see. Show it.
Oh,
Nice.
Hey.
Oh, dude. Mashup.
It's a robot
That's
in
pretty awesome.
disguise.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's
All
pretty
right,
good.
all right, I guess we're making the rounds. So mine's not nearly as fancy, but it's from
What?
Jinx.
That's ill.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's
I
nice.
like it.
I love the design.
it's
Oh,
cold.
puppy.
Sorry, it's cold. So like
Are you gonna
but yeah,
cut
it's
glass? Oh, what puppy
there's a
is this? There's a puppy.
This is Brandy. She was whimpering at my
Aw.
feet, so unless you want her yelping in the mic, she has to sit on my lap.
I completely approve of
Obviously,
this
she wants to
situation.
be famous.
I
Yeah.
have needy
That's-
animals is basically the lesson
Well,
for tonight.
Speaking of showing
you.
tits, back when I was doing, I was helping with crowd control. I was helping an event at GameStop. I wasn't working at GameStop, but I was helping them out. And it was one of the more popular stores. It was a Call of Duty release. And we were handing out Monster and Venom and all these energy drinks because there's like 1 billion sponsors and chicks with no real shorts on, just underpants. It was very cool, very fun. And so I was helping pass out drinks, and I was kind of going around the corner because they were like getting so denied. And they started getting like aggro with me, and they're like, "Give us some fucking energy drinks." And I finally screamed back, "Show me your tits!" and then this whole row of dudes, just minis, and it was like November, okay, and I was like, oh, all right, this is a bad idea. I fucked this up, and I apologize. And it was like at least a dozen, just middies, just hanging out in November in Chicago. I was like, oh, that happened. Whoops. Megan, you like corgis, right?
Pardon?
Oh, dude.
Yes, I have a corgi.
We have a puppy on set. I wish you could. Can you see the puppy?
I can. Yeah, my corgi is behind me, sleeping.
Aww.
Very cute.
A lot of animal love tonight. Yes, it was you flapping Boob City, Vinny. It was out of control. I made a mistake. I can't erase it.
City.
I love
Since
that.
we got a little time, hey, chat people, if you want to ask us some questions, you can ask us some questions because we're just farting around because we're very efficient at doing shows.
Well, I have some stuff we can talk about, ladies. I don't know if Bonks and Zia, you guys are familiar with the No Princess in the Castle documentary that's being made.
Yeah.
Ladies of the Round Table have officially been announced as cast members, so we're going to be a part of Vector Invaders' production of No Princess in this Castle, which is going to feature such talents. Yeah, we're pretty excited.
Yes, we are.
We're going to be appearing with Kat Despira. Patrick Scott Patterson's going to be. Original PSP is going to be one of the...
PSP, he just found me on Twitter. What's up, dude?
Yeah. Yeah, Scott was nice enough. When I first joined Twitter, he wrote an article about me and kind of helped boost me a little bit. And I was pretty excited about that. So, yeah, we're going to be in a documentary about how women have positively influenced the gaming world. And I can't fucking wait. Yeah, we're pretty stoked about that. So that is big news. And I'm surprised it took us this long to get to this. It's been bubbling. I've been excited.
Oh, we have a question. Shall we answer a question? We has a question from the chat.
I see this.
It is, what game disappointed you in 2013? Anything off the top of your heads?
Oh, like all of them, but especially Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
You didn't like Tomb Raider?
Yeah, I didn't. It was fun, but I found Lara Croft really, really annoying after listening to her scream for 20 hours. And I was
she was a bit
whiny.
into Tomb Raider.
I loved Tomb Raider.
God, my mind just got
I get what
blown.
you're saying.
It was really fun in terms of like the level design was really fun, and I like doing the levels and stuff. But like the story stuff and the voice acting is just not my favorite. Not my favorite.
Yeah, fair enough. Everyone is.
That was a really divisive game.
That is fair. That's fair, though.
I mean,
everybody. That's why we have opinions. That's good. That's good.
Yes, exactly.
That
Anyone
was
else
a
got
very
one that was
divisive
just
game,
kind of?
though. I know. Well, there were a lot of people that were disappointed by Tomb Raider. You know, like there's another podcast that I'm on where like we can't really agree on Tomb Raider amongst us. Like I personally love the game, but you know, it's other people were really disappointed with it. So, like, yeah, it's interesting to me how divisive that game is. Like, you know, there was the controversy that came out in the beginning where they talked about, oh, Lara Croft's power comes from the fact that she was almost raped and then she got away, and you know, then like. And I get that because why is that the only way that we can have a woman experience something awful that she then overcomes? Yeah. And that's like the definition of how powerful she is. And so I was really glad that backlash happened and that was called out for kind of the bullshit that it was. But, and you know, for me, you know, having a bulge, maybe I don't identify as much with that, but... The gameplay itself and the level design and everything was so amazing to me that like and I thought like through most of the games she was actually treated really respectfully as a female character. Excuse me, and one of the few ones, unfortunately, that we actually have in gaming that is the protagonist for her series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me,
anybody else?
although you bring up an interesting. you're bringing up an interesting point about her almost being raped and finding power from that, and that's an interesting thing to bring up that I never really had considered. I guess for me, I enjoyed it, one, because I was coming off Assassin's Creed 3, and I fucking hated that game. And so as soon as I finished Assassin's Creed 3, I came on, we started playing Tomb Raider, and I was like, holy god, this game is so much better than Assassin's Creed 3. So that was probably part of what colored my view.
Yeah.
But I think, for me, there was a lot of nostalgia, and that's probably why I liked it, was because I remember playing that game as a young girl and thinking, oh my gosh, this game is so cool, regardless of the robotic Frankenstein body. It was like, sweet, an adventure game, and there's a girl, and I'm a girl, this is fucking awesome. And so to see it get this kind of treatment, I felt like they did a good job of keeping that adventurous feel. It reminded me of Uncharted in a lot of ways, but grittier, and I like that aspect of it. But I can certainly, there's certain things that, sure, I thought the plot was a little shaky.
It was.
And I, not to take away from Megan's not liking it, that's cool if you didn't like it.
I think
my biggest thing is that you tried
Halo.
it.
I just assume they're all good.
No. Well, see, no. My biggest qualm is when people are like, "Oh, I fucking hate that game," and I'm like, "So have you ever played it?" No. Oh, well then fuck
relax.
you. Like you've never even. Yeah, relax.
Yeah. Like have
Still
an
try
idea
to
of
agree.
games and not just.
I think we should do a PSA right here just about that. Like, look, if someone obviously I play a lot of Bro Dude games. I play a lot of Halo and Call of Duty, and people are like, ugh, like they have a physical reaction to it. Dude, chill the fuck out. I didn't take a dump on your gaming habits. Like, relax. We can be better. Like,
Here.
here. Everybody be cool, man. Like, it's not like, it's people get nutty.
Shavasta asked if we played
Last of Us?
I played The Last of Us. Yes. I have not decided how I feel about that one.
Yeah, me neither. I'm kind of indifferent.
Actually, haven't
too
played
close to
Last
it.
of Us yet. I didn't want to play any more games last year with sad dads in them after playing BioShock. Like, I just didn't want to do it.
Oh, I haven't played Infinite, so no.
No spoilers.
Well, I'll sad dads, so I don't think I spoiled anything.
Well, I can say a big disappointment for me was CCP's Dust 514, which was the shooter on PS3, which was to complement EVE Online, and it just fell so fat on its cock. It has, you know what it was? For the first, it's so mean. Like, there's no winning, and they have so much calibration to do, and so it's just, fuck my life. Like, there's a lot about it that's original and very cool. And I would get addicted to it, and then I've had to take a break now. It's been about 2 months. I said to our viewers I wasn't going to pick it up again until it got 70 degrees here in Chicago. So I have a nice long while to take a break and see what it says. CCP, with most of their games, it's always a work in progress. But I'm an impatient tool bag, and I need things like to move. So that was my big disappointment.
I want Dust to succeed. I want it to succeed so badly, just because I think it's such an interesting concept that I really want to catch on, and people be like, that's a really cool idea. We should try doing that.
Yeah.
But, not necessarily like the MMO where let's copycat Warcraft, but not like let's copycat CCP. But I know where I was going with that. I don't know if that made sense.
Blend. It makes perfect sense because it's a blend of two disparate genres into something, and then the cross-pollination between the two worlds is the kind of thing that's super intriguing and that I would love to see more developers trying to do. Step out of your comfort zone, but somehow still have the games integrate with one another. It's almost like, with an MMO and a shooter working together is almost like, a PS4 and an Xbox One game being able to play in the same online server. It's just something that people don't do, and I would love to see more of it and for it to work well. So it's kind of a bummer to me, Bonks, that you don't like the games. I was hoping it would actually be good.
I love it. No, that's the trick. No, the game is great, but when you get to it's just
nice.
It's not there yet. I mean, honestly, I was addicted to playing it. I love everything that's going on, but the actual gameplay is just not there yet. And they were brave in stepping into the realm of FPS, but you have to understand FPS is my jam. and it's just not smooth enough. It's not where it needs to be. Just crazy things like time to kill and weapon balancing. This is the same thing with Eve. In fact, a lot of the issues that are happening in Dust happen in Eve the same way. They had to rebalance everything.
Really?
You know, what's a Tech 2 versus Tech 1? Yeah,
Huh.
a lot of the same issues. So I have faith. I really do. I'm just taking a very hefty break because I know how CCP operates, and Eve is doing great. Vinny was just saying Eve is doing really cool stuff. And it's really come a long way. I really hope Dust doesn't take as long to get amazing.
Right.
But, I mean, they always have great concept, and they're always original, and I really respect the shit out of that. But it's not, I don't enjoy it right now. There just came a point where I was just dying. Like, and I can't even walk around and see these goofy-ass, maps. I'm just spawning and dying, and that's not playing. That's just dying. So I'm just gonna give it a little time. I have faith. I honestly do. Carmen's telling me to preach. Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't give up. So I did my shout outs. Who's got shout outs? Because I think we're getting closer to ending time.
We are.
Yeah, so let's I'll have about our guests go. So Megan, do you have anything you want to promote or yourself or something happy?
Well, I'm part of the Toronto game making organization called Dames Making Games, and we had a game jam last weekend called Feb Fatal, and all the games are going to be on display on February 22nd at Bento Miso in Toronto as part of Vector Game Art Festival. So anyone who's in Toronto who wants to go to that, you should go, because there's so many cool games, all made by women, and it should be, Vector's also really, really fun, so it should be a really good time.
Awesome. And congratulations.
Yeah,
congrats.
That
it's
is
awesome.
Really cool.
All right, Matt, who you shouting out to?
Well, first, of course, I've got to give a shout out to all of our Kickstarter backers that have given us so much support so far. It's been amazing. So to them, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And then I actually want to give a shout out to another Kickstarter project that I think is super cool. It's called the Freeman Chronicles, and they just went up recently, so there's still plenty of time to back it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's they actually want to make a series. It's the Half-Life live-action film. So if you're a Half-Life player and you're like,
sorry,
Bulge.
The bulge just got bigger. Yeah.
The bulge. She's bulging.
So yeah, I mean, what a cool idea, right? I mean, like, everybody's been waiting for episode 3 forever. Nobody knows if it's actually going to come out or if Valve's even working on it. But this is a fan project, and it looks like it's going to be really well done. The production values in the short that they put up in their Kickstarter, I think, really show the pedigree of it being awesome. So shout out to them too. Go check them out. Back them too.
Woohoo! Down with that.
I'm going to jump in real quick, guys, because we were tweeted a question kind of to go with what was our worst game of 2013. What are your 2013 games of the year?
Injustice is pretty fucking good.
Anybody who wants to...
Mine was Tearaway and Hate Plus. Those are my two.
Okay.
They're good, yeah. For me, I'm way too close to it, so this is completely not an objective opinion, but I love The Last of Us. I love it like a brother.
Yeah, beautiful.
I would agree with The Last of Us only because, like I said, I'm on the fence. It's the kind of game where it's almost like a really good movie, but it makes you cry the whole time and cringe. It's kind of like, oh my god, that was like the worst emotional roller coaster ever. I never want to play that game again, but my goodness, it was really important. And so that's the reason why I would choose that one, probably. That, and I'm behind on my games. I'm like, I got my PS3 late, so I'm a generation, like, I'm just now getting to the games I missed. So, but yeah, I would say The Last.
You got any shout outs, Heather,
Probably.
while you're at it, madam?
Yeah, I do, actually. So I have my show on Sunday night, The Sundering, and we're going to have a guest on. Her name is Psyche from Psyche Plays, and she's from across the pond, and she's very nice and fun. And so if you are if you're bored on Sunday night and want to listen to a explicit, ridiculous podcast, you can check out my podcast, The Sundering.
Yeah.
Here's a link. I'll put a link in the chat.
Well, for me, my personal game of the year for 2013 was Tales of Xillia. I love the game so much, I imported it 2 years ago when it first came out in Japan.
Nice.
And as much as I loved playing the Japanese version, I got a little lost to the storyline because I don't speak Japanese. It's kind of important.
Sort of an issue.
So, August came around, it was released stateside. Super excited by it. It took me about 6 days to complete it. I just devoured Tales games. I'm really excited because the 25th of this month, the Tales of Symphonia Chronicles hits. I named my cat after one of the characters from Tales of Symphonia 2. One of my cats.
Nice.
Like I love the Tales of Symphonia games, and I'm super excited. So that's my game of 2013.
You gotta tell me the cat's name though.
Tenebrae.
Ah, nice.
Yay!
He is the Centurion of Darkness. If you haven't played the game, Tenebrae has some great dry humor. On my Facebook, under favorite quotes, as one of his quotes from the game, which is "darkness and bitterness are the two principal flavors of adulthood," which really resonates with me. It's kind of true.
That's fabulous. I love it.
So, as far as shout-outs, I do Blank Showcast, which is a podcast. You can find us at blankshowcast.podbean.com, which we kind of talk games and anything else. It gets a little crazy. We did an entire episode based around toilet humor a couple of weeks ago. It got out of hand.
Sounds like the Sundering.
It started with a news story and just kind of... it went from there.
Gotcha.
So
Well,
check
I love
that out.
that.
Shows. Those are fun.
It was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. My mom listens to it. It's great.
My mom can't listen to the Sundering.
Wow.
It sucks because it's so vulgar that my mom listened to my show for about 5 minutes and was like, "No."
Oh, I'm going to be
mom's the
interviewing
opposite. She's
Carmen
like,
has commanded. Carmen has commanded that I interview my mom because she did just recently get a Go Science Award and I think a scholarship named after her, and she's like a big nerdy deal. So I have to interview my mom, which is going to require alcohol and a lot of restraint. And so there will be an interview with my mom. I think I'm going to take her to Chili's and get her like a top shelf margarita and let her get shit-faced and really talk what it is to raise this, because this is not easy. So that will be upcoming. I want to thank
Carmen has
all of you for being here. Carmen. Yes, by Carmen request. So I would like to thank everyone for being here. Miss Megan, you're fabulous. And of course, Matt, you've been wonderful. You're in the estrogen ocean and you did marvelously. We give you credit. Heather, as always, you're fabulous. I want to pet your hair
all day, every day. So I'm sorry,
And of course, Miss Paige and all her animals and her console hoarding. And of course, I want to give a shout out to all our champions and sponsors. And do we want to do a post show? Ryan, what the French is a post show? And I have to pee.
"Post show."
So what do you
I
think
have a
post show?
cheesesteak sitting like a foot from me.
I'll tell you what we'll do, guys. How about we hang out and chat? Oh, never mind. Yeah, Ryan, you're a menace. Okay. I'll hang out and chat a little bit. After I pee, I'll come back and we can chat and talk about all the things. But why don't you run these fucking credits? Because I just ended the show really fucking eloquently and we're fighting. But it's okay. I love you anyway. Alrighty.